Hey guys, Jesse Paul here. We're here with Dan, Tyler, and Tony Wagner. We filmed a movie together this year, and so we're just gonna chat about it. So yeah, it was what time was it last year that we even got it figured out? Was it like mid-January or something?
The actual movie, we didn't get figured out until
it started
like January 15th probably.
It was when I was in Austria, so it was like sometime
that we actually had things dialed. Yeah. But
our first trip was right before New Year's.
It was right before Christmas, wasn't it?
Right after Christmas. It was a storm that hit like the day after Christmas, and we went up to Duluth.
Right, yeah. There. So we started filming at that point, but it was still just...
We didn't know what
we were just kind of filming.
Yeah. It was still just us kind of like texting back and forth and seeing what we were going to make. Because I remember like... it's probably like this time of the year last year that I reached out to you and I was like, I know like we were going to film something. I was like, let's see what you're up to and just kind of see what everyone's doing and just kind of like film whatever.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
And then it was while you were at...
Bush Project.
Yeah, Bush Project that we actually like kind of got some momentum.
Right.
Because that's when you talked to like...
It feels like that was like mid-season. Like
I know, right?
I mean, it kind of
basically was. It was January.
Because it was mid-January.
Yeah, right.
But I think that's when you start like we're able to talk to like Nerv and Melissa and Jordan and stuff. We're all there, so...
And then I don't even think like... Even so, after that, there was probably like 2 or 3 weeks of nothing.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of chilling after Austria.
Oh, because you had your head injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I think we started actually filming, like you and Jordan came
like
back
February.
into town like first week
It was pretty
of
much all
February.
February.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole thing was filmed in like February and March.
Man, yeah, it's crazy.
I know, looking at... Because I was like, oh, we filmed a lot. And then like I was going through... Because every day I just like dump all my footage and I have like... February 1st, February 2nd, like I was like, there's not that many days of folders in here. Like we got a lot done in like not a ton of time.
Yeah.
And then like obviously like the week and a half in Canada helped a lot, but
Definitely.
yeah, we definitely got a lot done.
Yeah, and
then switching from like, because everything started like, and things took a while because like we were Transworld for a while, and then we were obviously not Transworld anymore.
Yeah. So it's so funny because. Well, I guess before we get too far, the name of the movie is VEER. And yeah, it was Tony Wagner, me, Jesse Paul, Melissa Rutano, Nirvana Ortnez, Jordan Small, and Mike Little, and then Dan Tyler filmed and edited it. And yeah, so it was funny because the year before I was injured, and so last year I was like, all right, I want to get filming like right away, really motivated, and just like nothing was really working out. It was like a weird year. Everybody was doing like random different stuff.
It was a really weird year.
Nobody knew what they were doing.
Yeah. And no one was doing
like,
a proper like video part-based like the classic like video you'd see 10 of 5 years ago. There was
exactly
everybody Ted's movie, but that was basically like an AM movie, so it wasn't like obviously not a place where you would end up. So
exactly,
it's like there really just weren't many classic projects anymore. Yeah.
And I was gonna try to. I don't remember what I was. I know I had been talking to Transworld because I worked with them in the past, and it was really a good experience. And so I was just kind of like, whatever. Like, what do you guys want to do? Like, I'm down to work with you, down to do something, and then. And like around that same time, that's when you were hitting me up, and you're like, "Hey!" And Dan and I have, we've filmed together for years, just randomly here and there.
Yeah, just like randomly be like, "Hey, I'm not doing anything today. I'm in town. Let's link up for a few days." But we've never gotten to work kind of like full time on anything. It's always just been,
But it's always been like good and easy and fun, and so I was definitely super down to work with you, and so we were trying to get something going with Transworld, and then. It just like fell through, and then
Transworld ceased to exist.
Exactly.
Transworld fell through.
Yeah, and then
merged. Yeah, kind of became Snowboarder.
But at that point, it was already like they'd already somewhat committed to it, right? And that's how it got like, transferred to Snowboarder.
I was talking to Transworld like on the phone, and they were like, we're doing this, and if this works, they basically were telling me like, if this works out for you, like. We could just keep producing stuff in the future. Like you could keep doing this year after year. And then like a week later, he didn't even have a job anymore.
Yeah,
it was
like the company just
that came out of nowhere. And so, but then I got handed off to Snowboarder, which I'm glad because I love working with Pat Bridges. And he was super cool to work with the whole time.
That was, because I was like, when it was Transworld, I was like, okay, cool, this is fine. Like, a Transworld movie would be cool, but like, I don't know, I always see it as like, because like the Transworld movies were sick and like they were just like not really accessible to me really, because it was like you were in them and like the other riders were in them were sick, but then there was a ton of just like the big mountain or like the big like the rails that I'm just like growing up in the Midwest, I wasn't like the riders I was watching, the things I can get into because I ride Trollhagen every day. I don't ride I don't ride in Utah or anywhere. So it was like when we found out I was going to be moving over to snowboarder, that's always been like kind of the more like the magazine and like the publication I kind of like vibed with a little bit more. So
there's a little bit more emphasis on like the street
riding and stuff. Yeah, Transworld always like seems like where like a lot more of the contest and the big mountain content ended up, where it's just, which is still awesome. I've just never gotten to ride real snow, so I don't I don't understand the concept at all. So when it was like the magazine where everyone's hitting like rails and there's like an inch of snow on the ground, I'm like, cool, I can vibe with that. That's where I'm more at home. And it was like obviously working with Pat's awesome, because even like when you're not in the industry, you know Pat's name, so it's growing up, it was always like Pat's like kind of like the go-to guy in snowboarding, it seems like. So getting calls from him was like a cool project to work on.
It's kind of surreal, honestly. Like when you take a step back, I mean, it's just crazy to be like working so closely with a magazine that you
that you grew up reading.
It's just like so cool. But and so you guys have filmed together a lot in the past.
Yeah, me and Tony have been filming together since 2005 years now, probably 4 years.
Since like the first year of 1817. Well, before it was 1817. Before like that footage was going to the 1817.
Yeah, because
So at least 4 or 5 years.
It's 4 because I always gauge my projects now off of how long me and my wife have been married.
Oh, nice.
So like we started dating 5 years ago during Cryptic. So then the next year was the year we started dating.
Yeah, because I met you. I first met you the Cryptic year.
And you were filming Kiss Kiss
I wasn't.
Keep It Secret.
No, it was a year after that. We didn't really film anything that year. We tried to, but it was like a really crappy snow year.
Yep.
So we didn't really film at all. But I met you at the IPP shoot late season at Trollhagen.
Yep.
And then the next year we kind of like me, you, Cody.
Yeah, we'd film. I remember that year we filmed.
Joey, we filmed a bunch.
Yeah, because we filmed the 1817 movie together, which was technically started out as like we were just kind of filming, and then
we were just filming to film.
Yeah, and then the next year we did like full 1817 and just kind of folded over the leftover or like the A stuff from the year before into it. But that year we filmed together a ton, just like alone, because you'd get done with work and I'm like, cool, I'm not doing anything, roll into the city, and like there are definitely a lot of spots.
Yeah, me and you have filmed together
4 years
a lot.
now,
But then 2 years ago, we didn't film much because we
were doing the project with the house that year, so we filmed. I was doing a lot of resort content.
We were like at Troll. We were filming at resorts more, but we didn't film as much like street stuff.
Yeah, I didn't get out to many street spots that year.
So it was sick to film with Dan again last year.
Yeah,
because like there were quite a few days that we'd just like link up just for a spot that like I knew I could hit just with one person, just like Natty Speed or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I love filming just one-on-one.
There's something kind of cool about that.
It's really weird, but if it's like a spot that works like that, like it for me it works.
Yeah,
I like
totally.
that. I like that side of things.
It's really fun. There's almost like it's like a peace or like a quietness to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you first show up to ride for the day, you show up a little early and like no one's kind of there. Those first couple runs that you're just kind of cruising, kind of on your own. Kind of feels like that. You're
kind of just doing your own thing. No one is waiting for you to get your trick, so like they can jump on the rail.
Right.
No, you're not like wasting anyone else's time. Or
right.
Just
you
like
guys are just there.
Peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're like, and there's certain people too that are kind of just like having like, I always think of Bill, like Bill Brandt when he's at a spot. Like, have you ever been to a spot with Bill Brandt before? He was riding with us at Troll yesterday.
Yeah, no, I have. I don't think I've been at one that he's hit.
No, he's like, but like having that like kind of like just like a rider and a filmer, like having like Bill there is always like, I never feel any stress when he's like, it's never like anyone's waiting on me. He's just like down to help out and like, it's like, it's just like that small crew vibe of just like everyone there is doing something and like no one's pushing anyone. No one's like, it's just like a good vibe to have like a good small crew like that.
Yeah.
And there was like it was like that a lot last year because like we never had like we never had a huge crew by any means, so it always just worked out. It was always pretty comfortable.
Yeah, there was only ever like a 5-day period where the whole crew was like actually together, I feel like.
Yeah, right. But and I mean, I thought you did a really good job at like putting the film together and really emphasizing those shots that everybody was together.
Yeah, I tried to make the most of like the days we actually had everyone together, just because everything was so last minute that we didn't have the chances to really get on big like crew trips or anything like that. So
yeah, but
it was
all
cool when
felt
everyone got
really
to be here.
seamless. And, yeah, and I thought that like the footage that, especially the footage the girls got like with Ted on other trips, like it fit in really
Same with
well.
Jordan. Cause it was cool. It kind of just gave the whole movie, like, it just rounded it out even a little more. Because it wasn't everyone hitting the same spots or even the same city spots. Like, Jordan had those East Coast trips. Melissa and Nerve had Japan and a few Quebec clips.
And a few Salt Lake ones too.
Oh,
They had really well-rounded parts as far as
it kind of just rounded out the whole video really nicely.
Yeah, and Mike and I
you guys went to Salt Lake.
And that was also like a really funny small crew for a couple days. It was just me, Mike, and then we hired Colton Morgan for a couple days. And so it was just the three of us, like, it's so just small crew and just figuring out whatever we can do. But it's so cool, the kind of flexibility you have with that, and like, I don't know, it's fun. But
yeah, it's just a weird, different like era of videos now. It's just like kind of like the small crew just doing random weird things, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Compared to like, there's definitely like the big benefits of having like a big crew, and then there's like definitely some cool things that like you never really got to do when it was 8 or 9 riders all hitting like the same rail.
Or trying to hit the same rail.
Yeah.
Everyone trying to get a different trick on a down bar. Then the whole video having like every part has like the same 10 spots in it.
Yeah.
Different order.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that I feel like everybody's part was so different.
Oh yeah, it was.
Everybody just like kind of hit different stuff.
It was a good mix of styles of riders, and
so like really more or less no two riders are the same.
No.
But you definitely will come across people that do ride and look for similar things. So it's kind of cool that like for us last year, no one was really fighting for spots. There was like if someone was really hyped on it, chances are like they were really hyped on it because it was their type of spot. Like it wasn't someone that someone else would really want to step up to or whatever.
Totally.
Yeah.
So that made it really easy too.
100%.
I can only think of 1 or 2 times last year where there was ever like someone had to step down from a trick because like someone else like really wanted it. Like it was always just like, oh yeah, that's clearly like a Tony trick, or that's clearly a Jesse trick. Like that's like, it's clearly like your kind of spot, so you're gonna be the one that hits it. Yeah, because you're hyped about it. It's not like when it was a down bar, it was like, who's gonna get the cab 2 onto it, and who's gonna have to step down.
Yeah, and when there was that down bar that we all hit, is like the girls hit it from the side and me and Jordan hit it from the back, and so even that was like,
everyone just
and that was like kind of just like a fun small spot that it wasn't. You didn't feel like anybody was one-upping anybody else. It was just like we were just trying to figure out different ways to hit it.
Yeah, everyone's just like having fun and just doing like their own thing.
Yeah. But one thing that reminds me of is when Jordan and I hit the roof spot, which, I mean, it sucks that I fell and like hurt my hip so bad, but I'm glad I didn't get that on that because it wouldn't have even been that cool. And like having 2 just like wall rides on, it'd be like, what were we thinking? But
it was
it kind of worked out. Like
that spot seemed so trickable.
I know,
concept.
it really. I was like, oh, we could do a bunch of weird shit on this.
Like when we were setting that up, I'm like, oh, the sky's the limit with what we could do here. Like everyone can like spin out of it and like all this stuff, and then it was like, it's like a battle to even like touch it. Yeah,
and we're referring to if you guys watch the movie. That in the intro I go, frontside wall ride on the side of this roof, kind of like catch my back edge and fall like 15 feet to my hip, and just like I was.
It's
out
just
for
nuking
like
snow, and it's just like a bad situation.
Yeah. Oh, that was not fun.
In concept, it looked like it should have been the coolest thing in the world.
I know. It looked like it was totally iced over, like it was going to be basically a vertical box.
Yeah.
With like the steep landing, a bunch of powder, it just snowed a bunch, But then the snow on the landing wasn't really holding, and so I basically fell to the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was super cold that day and really light snow, so it just fluffed right out from under.
It was not a landing.
Yeah. Oh man. And I wanted to talk about the name because I've been getting so many people asking about
yeah.
what is VEER? What does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some people even think I say beer. It's like, and it's funny because there's another snowboarder movie that's called Hold My Beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so, but yeah, VEER. It was. How did? I mean, we were kind of just brainstorming like.
We were looking for something. I think it was we were looking for something that had the change of direction because we had a lot of
so many
we hit a lot of like up, down, back and
and
forth spots. So like we were looking for something that could mean a change of direction.
Yeah,
And
right.
there's VEER.
You were thinking of like Seesaw.
Seesaw was another.
Yeah,
one.
that would have been
Seesaw's
pretty
still
cool
on my
too. Yeah.
short list of videos.
Yeah, maybe that's the next one.
Like I have a proposal typed up where there's like 3 titles and Seesaw is still in
Nice.
it.
Yeah, that would be
really
pretty
like
cool.
that
I could
movie.
imagine a cool
It could be a cool
graphic.
That's right. Yeah, that's
for
like that's what
sure.
sold me on that. But
Yeah,
and like
definitely.
veer off course is such like a common term or like
Yeah, people are
So
like,
it's just
wait,
like-
what does VEER mean? And then you use it like,
It's a weird, like-
veer left or like veer off course.
When you
And
hear
they're like,
VEER in
now-
itself, you
veer,
don't make
it's
that
like it's
connection.
almost like, wait, is that even a word?
I know it's like when it's on its own, it's a very strange word, but
Yeah.
then like when you use it in a sentence, it flows really well. But yeah, it's like-
Exactly.
and a little more like going to like it's just like a weird video where it's not like it's off the common like part. It's just like kind of small cruise. It's kind of veered off the path of like your traditional movie a little bit.
Yeah, and then if you dig into it
Yeah.
further, it's like it's kind of veering off course because it's a smaller
Yeah.
video. And
It's
like
not a team movie. It's not a
2 of the riders were women, so that was like kind of different.
Yeah.
And also like me veering off to co-produce it and like kind of co-produce a film that I haven't really done before, and so it's just like there's a lot of different meanings. And I also think just like the graphic of the actual text, especially in capitals, just like looks really
a
strong
good-looking
and
word,
simple and but and the cover of the movie is your frontside wall ride on the
Yeah,
chain
I'm pretty
link.
hyped on that photo.
Yeah, I like it a
It's
lot
such a great
too.
photo, yeah.
But and it's so funny because it was kind of an accident. Like I had a couple flashes set up in there, and that was the one that I took where the flashes didn't go off. It ended up being so much cooler. And it's funny because if you watch the video, you see the flash go off. So that's not, and I wonder if anybody catches that.
Yeah.
If anybody's like, oh, that's the cover photo, but like, you have to kind of know about photography to realize that the flashes aren't there.
The other funny thing about that is that like that whole just me even hitting that thing was kind of like a last minute thing because like we were just there all
Right.
day for Jordan's like keyhole shot, the photo or the sequence that you shot.
Yeah, that
And,
one. Dude, that's crazy. Like both of those made it in the magazine. That was
From
the
that
same
day.
day.
Yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
But yeah, it was kind of just one of those things where
got
if
something
you're
to do,
at a
yeah.
spot long enough and you're gonna find something that
Right.
something else that you could do, and it was like one of those things where like if we had light, we were gonna
Do something.
I'd
We're there,
set up
yeah.
the lip while Jordan was pushing his landing or something, but it was like if we hit it, we hit it.
'cause it was
If we
like-
get around to hitting it, we'll do it. But we
It was
just
kind of like you were
weren't
there
sure.
and you didn't even really need to do anything because we only had like 2 bungee pullers or something. It was like you had plenty of time to like
Yeah.
just kind of mess around and set up the lip and then it was just ready to go. Yeah.
So just
No,
one
it
of
wasn't
those-
bungee. It was the
was-
drop-in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
because
the drop-in broke, actually.
That's right. So there was nothing you could really do. Yeah. So you could just like walk
Yeah.
around and find a spot and
And it was
worked out.
also like freezing that
It
day.
was really
So you were probably just like, I just gotta
trying to stay
move.
warm,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna build something because I'm cold. Yeah.
And it was definitely like we got around to it, but it was it was pretty late in the day. Like we
But it
probably
was dark. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
we were getting down there, but
Yeah.
worked out. Got a photo out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
glad we
love
did it.
how like, I don't know, the design of the DVD with that on the front and like just the simple back, like with
Well,
the
and
pink
with how it's
and
like black
everything,
and
like-
white, the photo itself is it is black and white, right?
No,
it's-
no,
or
it's
just
like
that?
it's desaturated
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
bit,
Okay.
and it's kind of cool because if you look at it, like the gradient in the sky, it's like kind of got a pinkish hue,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
like
kind of
pinkish blue,
perfectly
yeah.
Because it was
goes
that,
into
yeah.
the pink of the VEER, and so just like I don't know, and David Daisy did a really good job of like creating that graphic and like doing the cover art, and like I just think like seeing the physical DVDs, it's like wow, this looks
looks-
yeah,
super
it's
cool. Yeah. And
It's
he also did the animations for the movie, which I thought tied in really well too. So, yeah.
Yeah, through and through. Actually getting like the final copy in my hand was so great to like actually have a DVD again of like. So I know going into it, that was like my biggest like. I was like, I remember the first time I talked to Pat, he was like, "What do you want to do with the movie?" I was like, "I would like DVDs, please. I would like a hard copy." It was like all I really cared about, and then so it was awesome. And like it was cool just to see all the projects ended up on hard copy this year, which was, and they did like the whole season pass thing where like everyone gets a hard copy of everything. That's like it was nice to like have that back again this year.
Yeah,
because it seems like in the past hard copies, like the past couple of years, hard copies are kind of
been like optional for a lot of people.
I'm actually in the middle of my own project right now of collecting and making hard copies of things. So I've been like reaching out to all, like I have like a 12 gig file from Durham sitting in like my Dropbox right now. And like, I've just been hitting up every filmer from like the last couple of years and be like, can I get this? Can I get that?
To make
like,
hard copies.
Yeah, so I've got like 7 or 8 like.
No way.
I just went to the thrift shop and bought a bunch of cases and like.
Sick.
Let's start with like Ryan's project because he had like that DVD like looking sticker that he made for the movie. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna get the hard copy and like.
Put that on.
Yeah, stuck it to something. So now I'm just like burning everything so I can like not forget about it because there's so many awesome projects that just disappear now.
And,
dude, I know.
with like how stuff gets taken down nowadays, like you never know when something like 1817 isn't online anymore.
Really? Yeah. Because of music stuff.
Yeah. I don't know when it got taken down.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, and so then that's just now in the abyss.
So,
like,
and like,
crazy. And the thing is, like
all the elementary videos, like all like that whole account got deleted, and like all that stuff is lost forever. So it makes sense to.
Yeah, and it's like even if it didn't get deleted, in a couple years, like maybe a couple people were like, oh yeah, remember this like way back when. And you like look it up, but really like how much stuff I probably will never see again. But then I'm at home and it's like I've got all these random different things. I'm like, oh whoa, I haven't even thought about that in forever. Like pop it in, whatever. And even if you don't have a DVD player, there's something, if you're like really passionate about snowboarding, whether you're like making the films or like watching them or whatever, there's something cool about. Even it's almost like a little trophy, like a little piece of the past, like a physical thing that you can hold. That's just never really. It's
like an
old.
Extension of having like the magazine on your shelf. It's like here's this is that year that they like encapsulated for those riders. If that's like watching the progression of people and just like the progression of the sport in general is like, even if you aren't watching the movie, you can look at like I look at the case of Shoot the Moon and I remember like Jonas's part. I remember everything about it. Like and that's I haven't watched the movie.
That was such a good movie.
It's definitely one of the best, like
one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, very formative for me as a like someone who likes snowboarding because
100%.
I got into snowboarding pretty late, so that was like the first year I was like really buying DVDs and like that's a good movie for sure.
And that one they had like such cool titles and stuff in that too.
Yeah, just the melting.
The whole overall creative direction of that was awesome.
And even little things like because that's like Riley's first movie on Videograss, so it's like exciting to see like Riley's like filming in that too, like going from like I was just like little things like, and maybe being like a little closer to it, it's like a little more important to me. But I think even like before I was like involved with the industry at all, the DVDs were like huge just to like have them there and like remember everything. So I guess it's just great having that back a little bit. Yeah.
And speaking of Riley Erickson, he's like OG filmer, Minnesota, like has pretty much been a filmer for like all of the BG movies.
He started Shoot the Moon,
or was
he started in Shoot the Moon, which was I think the 3rd or 4th.
Okay,
but
and he filmed with us a little bit over the winter, which was awesome. That was really cool.
Yep, and then we filmed like all the 1817 stuff together and all that, and then he's just been around forever.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well. Yeah, that's VEER. I mean, you guys have anything else you want to chat about?
I don't know. Like Quebec was awesome. It was cool that all worked out.
Yeah.
Because we were there doing like a sessions team shoot, and you ended up there for.
That was kind of like
Arbor,
crazy.
so
Worked
you
out.
Me and Mike were up there for Arbor already. You guys happened to be up there for sessions.
Yeah, so it was nice.
Yeah, like a week later. So you just stayed out there.
Yeah.
And then we just kept filming past the sessions trip.
Yeah, it was nice to just have that like reason just be out there and like that was huge and worked out.
There was so much snow up there too. It was a good year to be that there late in the year. So that was fun.
And that Arbor video turned out so sick.
That was a fun trip in itself. So that was cooler that we could then I could just stay a few extra days and link up with you guys. But yeah, it was just funny how just everything aligned for that workout as it did.
Yeah. And then that was the last trip of the season. Was the last clip you got your ender? Mm-hmm. That's right. That's kind of cool.
It's a good way to
do it. It's a cool way to cap it off, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I wasn't necessarily planning it that way. You know,
Yeah.
like would have liked to have had something like earlier in the year, but I
Yeah,
got
I mean, that's when the spot presented itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it was through the tree. I pulled you in, just like, it's so funny. The huge snow drop in.
Yeah.
I'm pulling you as hard as I can. You launch through a tree and then just land front two. Like, that shot is so sick.
Yeah, I like how in the cut shot. No, it wasn't even the cut shot. In the fish shot, like the follow cam, how you can see.
Yeah.
Like you can see the silhouette of you, like tugging me in, and then I cut down into the line of sight. And, yeah.
And you got your ender like pretty much. You got your ender before January or like second trip, yeah.
Yeah, I got my ender. I got my heaviest clips like right away.
Yeah.
Just all the big stuff was like the first one or two
your
trips.
Opener and ender were like the
with.
second trip, yeah.
Yeah, that opener shot where I did the front board and then down into the wall, which I've gotten so much good response from, and it honestly is one of my favorite clips I've ever filmed. But what's crazy about that, the crazy story about that, I think I was telling you this that day, but it was on January 6th, and I remember that because the year prior, exactly 1 year before, January 6th, is when I broke my leg. And so it just was like a really surreal moment. And like, I kind of didn't want to snowboard on that day. But then I ended up hitting like one of the scariest spots of the year.
Well, especially because Brady broke his the day before.
I know. Brady broke his January 5th. Then January 6th, I'm hitting this super gnarly spot exactly 1 year after I broke my leg. And I was just like, okay, I can't think about it. Like I literally pushed it out of my mind.
Yep.
And then I got it. And then I opened up to it and I was like, wow. It was like such an emotional feeling.
One of
to
those
be
things you don't want to talk about until after it's done.
And it's like, here I am a year later. Like honestly, I don't think I would have thought, like, if I could have somehow seen that clip and been like, in 1 year, you're going to do this, I would have been like,
no,
what?
Like
There's no way. That's not possible. So it's just like, that was a really cool moment for me. And then it was also just cool and I think I was just so fired up. At the beginning of the season that I had the motivation and energy to like hit that stuff. And then, I mean, you saw me in Quebec. I was beat down. I was ready for the season.
We were all pretty beat down at that point.
as you know, that's what happens
that's
towards the end of the year. But like, man, if I was at that spot in April, I would not have hit it. I would have been like, I don't care about this that much. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So it was kind of cool how it worked out.
Well, it's so funny too because we had like dragged Benny up and like got like one of Benny like just grabbed one of his friends from the dorm in Duluth to like help pull.
Yeah, right.
That was crew. Like,
dude. Yeah, that's right. We were staying in a hotel room. Yep. It was just you and me.
Yep.
In
and then
Duluth.
we snagged Benny and then.
Yeah, and had Benny come along, and wait, Benny wasn't there for the day though, was he?
He was up filming with someone. He was just like.
But the night before, he helped us shovel. It was you, me, and Benny.
Yeah,
right?
because we were like, hey, do you want to just like stay at our hotel with us and like.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, he like, was not on the trip with us because he was filming for everybody, so I don't even know what he was doing up there.
Yeah, and so we just like shoveled for a couple hours the night before, which thank God because like that first clip fucking
nosedive
straight to my chest basically. Yeah. But luckily there was like this much snow. Like, it didn't really hurt. It was more scary than anything. But yeah, and then the next day I was hitting up a bunch of people that I thought like anybody to pull bungee. Like I just need a body. That's it. Like,
they don't have to be good.
This is really important. Like I need someone. And I was hitting up a bunch of people. Yeah, and then who was it? Benny's friend?
He was one of Benny's buddies.
Yeah, one of Benny's friends.
I can't remember his name right now. But.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you're watching this. I don't either. But thank you so much. Like it was cool though because he was wearing a common apparel hoodie, and it was just like, I don't know. I mean, I can just imagine like, I'm projecting, but if I was in that situation, and like one of my friends just like, hey, come like help. Are you down to help
when I
this
was
guy
18
get this
and like
clip?
someone, yeah.
And then I go and like see like that. I would have been like, whoa, this is crazy, you know?
I love the static shot because like you hit it and like Benny and him just like sprint to the. You can see him run and peek over the rail from like where they pulled bungee to.
Yeah, and then another thing about that shot, like to work up to it, you can. If people watch the credits, there's one shot where I'm just like hanging onto the edge. I like had them like hold on to me as I stepped over, and then I just kind of like dropped in.
It's so dumb.
Over. It's so stupid.
So much
like,
scarier than actually.
Was that your first like actual attempt at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was like, you
no,
know,
it wasn't.
The first time you went into the wall.
No, actually.
you were going in, but like that was the first time you like really dug your.
Yeah,
like,
the other ones I kind of like maybe hit my tail.
You're like skirting
and
down
like,
it. Yeah, you weren't
kind of like
really
went too
giving
far.
it.
And that one I was like, okay, I gotta like really suck this in. But then I somehow
You
like
really
I
sucked
never
it in.
would have thought I would catch my nose.
No.
And actually, there were little cracks in between each one of those steps, and my nose went like this and like
Folded
it
into
bent,
the wall.
It
Yeah.
bent part of my nose because it got caught in the crack. So I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Worked out.
So yeah, could you imagine? Exactly a year later, I break my arm. Like, well, I guess no more snowboarding on January 6th.
That's a bad day.
Yeah, jeez. But yeah, I don't know.
It was a good year. No injuries though. Like
Yeah,
nothing like.
he hit his head.
A few like I just got chill for a little
I
bit. But
kind of thought I almost broke my hip that one time.
Yeah.
But then I was fine, and yeah, I think Jordan took a couple slams too. But yeah,
But no
overall,
one, there was not really
it was
any
pretty-
season-ending.
No.
pretty
injuries,
healthy
which is
year.
a success.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's always
In itself.
if you're not.
We did- I mean,
it's
we
good
did a
year.
really good
I guess
job
I was in
being
the
like-
but for Brady, but that wasn't
Right.
technically our movies. I guess.
We did a really good job, I think, of as I always try to do, of just like putting in those extra
Yeah.
hours of shoveling.
It's worth it in the
making it
long
as
run,
safe as
100%.
possible.
Well, and as we
know.
get as we all like have been filming for a lot of years now, it's the
Yeah, you
time
realize
to
how-
build a spot right is. And when you're watching like someone like we were talking about this like watching like Louis like his parts and stuff like how safe the spots are.
Exactly, and it's
Like-
still you can have an amazing part
Yeah.
and not hit anything that people are like,
Building a spot safe isn't gonna take anything away from
No,
the shot.
No.
no one's gonna
No.
fault you for it.
And-
Which like
Yeah.
I remember like my first first 2 years filming, I was like in between clips, like cleaning the stairs.
Dude,
up, like,
me too. Yeah,
getting like
I actually remembered like when I was like first filming Street and we
Yeah.
were like making everything bone dry.
Yeah.
There were some things that I saw in the magazine that there was like a magazine shot and there was snow on the stairs and I'd be like, what is this pro doing? Like snow on the stairs. He'd like,
I know, like, I'm
this shouldn't
scraping-
even be in the magazine. This is BS.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, dude.
like I'm scraping the like.
Come
I'm like,
on, like,
maybe I'll
cover
clear
those
the stairs out a little bit. Like,
Yeah, make it so that you can see that there's stairs there.
Yeah.
And I love how everybody's like on that page these days.
Yes. I'm like,
It's
screw it, hit the
totally
rail from the
okay.
outside. I don't care what you
Yeah,
do.
really. It's like,
I know,
especially nowadays where like you can't just go, it's not just about down rails. It's like, and
You gotta think outside the box.
yeah, and you go
Outside the
back to
box.
some of the same spots. If you hit it from the outside, that's a different way to hit it.
Yeah.
It's a new spot, basically. So
Yeah, it's definitely nice the amount that people don't care about stupid things anymore. That
Yeah.
I admittedly very much cared about when I was 18 or 19
exactly.
filming.
It's so funny. It's such a funny thing.
Yeah, like the
young
hours I've
mentality.
wasted chipping out stairs
Yeah.
that I could not have wasted.
Exactly. That you could have actually use that time to put more snow
Yeah.
in places where you might fall to make it actually
Film
safer.
better clips and like
Yeah. Right. Oh, it's so funny.
yeah, which definitely like the years I did real snow with Dan definitely helped me with like.
Oh, he's really
yeah,
good about
he
that
builds
stuff.
it so right. Like
I hear he wears like full pads.
oh, he's got the
basically.
full kit. Like, he's like I mean it's pretty much the same as you. Like you've
Yeah.
got like your like shit like the basic padding, and then he's
Yeah.
got like occasionally he'll bust out. He's got like a full like it looks like a mild version of like a motocross like whole back kit.
Oh, crazy.
So like if you
yeah.
like if it's like a big thing, you like slam on your back, like you're
Right.
chill, like
That's
and it's
cool.
still like not really noticeable. Like
Yeah, totally. I mean, nobody knows that. I mean, mine's a little more minimal, I think, but nobody knows that I usually wear knee pads and elbow pads when I'm.
butt pads are the
Yeah,
the-
butt pads
that's
too.
the like and you have like a good like set of like
I
hip
wear-
pads,
I've
right?
worn them a few times, or sometimes, like especially when I have a bruised tailbone.
Yeah, that's like
Like, it
little
just-
things like that are so like
Yeah, when I filmed real snow, there were spots that I had 2 layers of butt pads
Really?
on. That I was just like Like when I did the like broke through the fence to the rail, there were a couple times that I literally just like went to my butt on the stairs, and so I was like so glad, and I knew that was gonna happen, so I was like padded up, ready for that. But you can't really tell in the shots.
I love talking to like kind of hyping up the pads. Are,
so
crucial. Like having like, there's so many people that are like annoyed by pads and like think it's dumb. And I'm like,
if you can't see
like
it,
I'll list off like 6
matter.
people I know that wear like pretty heavy padding, and I'm like, all right, well, if Jesse's not too good for pads, you should probably just put on pads. Because, like, guess who didn't just get taken out from that spot from, like, a swollen elbow? Like, Guess who's still filming
That's
today
the worst thing. It's like when you have a swell elbow so bad that you can, like, barely move when, like, just a little bit of protection completely.
Because it's so easy to, like, ping something like that on a stair. It's like,
and it's not, it doesn't, like, it doesn't decrease mobility or anything like that.
Just, like, going deeper into, like, the like, clearing out stairs things is, like, who cares? Like, wear the padding you got to wear to be like able to film the whole season.
So basically we like to put on a front that we're really really hard and like tough, but actually we're a bunch of soft.
Underneath it's all pellets.
Oh man. Well, yeah, dude, it was so cool working with you guys this year, and
It was fun.
It was a great year. I would say
I hope we
it's
can,
cool to be able to just do like what we wanted to do and like.
I guess last year,
Like last year was cool.
Last
It was
year,
like just like it was such a good experience with like having it be like a whole production and like dealing with like making contracts and like deliverables and like
and
all
like
these
doing
like
the premieres and stuff like that.
It was just like it was cool. Like this was my first time working with like a proper like whole big production, not like kind of being independently produced, and it was like everything I was worried about was not a thing. Like there was no like obviously there's like they cared that we were filming, but like other than that, like no one was like
they trusted that we were just
they're
gonna
like
get it
do
done.
your thing. Like we trust you to make the movie, and like we trust you to do it well. And it's like awesome. This is like dream come true. It was like being able to show like have it on a platform as big as Snowboarder and like be able to show like as many like get the views that we got on it was like so awesome, and like being like
so cool.
Yes.
And like just having a platform for everybody that, and it's just cool to think that if we didn't make that happen, it just wouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? It's not like it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have gone to someone else. It just wouldn't have existed. So it was cool that we.
And that like
capitalized on
allowed
it.
for more premieres for Snowboarder, and like in Bridges even. I was on the phone with him the other day, and he was like really happy. He was like, this was like such a good piece for not only all the riders but like our audience, and like we were really happy to work with you guys, and like he really liked working with you. So
he had no,
overall, I mean, it's just
It was cool because it kind of just
Great.
rounded out their 3 or what would have been their 2 movies, but you know, like each the VEER, everybody, and Contrast all had a completely different take. Completely, like didn't even resemble each other. I don't feel like.
it was just like they trusted like the creative team like to do what they wanted to do, and that we were going to do a good job, and they just let us do it, and it's great.
exactly.
Which was like when we were like getting involved with like a magazine or like a production company at all, I was like, okay, we're gonna have to like deal with some stuff, and like there's gonna be some things where like, oh, you should do this and like this and this and this, and I was like, no, they didn't care. Like they're just like, we trust you to be creative and we trust you to film, and
which is cool because I feel like Snowboarder as a film producing entity has gotten a lot better about that, because I think like when they first started doing it, they were still kind of figuring out how to do it, and you know, I mean, I think they got it pretty dialed.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would work with them any day. It was great. Yeah.
Cool. Well, yes. Good stuff, guys. You can check out VEER. All the parts are online right now.
Yeah, I know there's a plan to put the whole movie somewhere.
Yeah.
Doing something. I know I've sent the files to Pat, and he's just like trying to figure out where we're distributing them through. I don't know if it'll live on YouTube or somewhere else, but the full movie will be out somewhere in a hole.
Yeah.
But right now, all the parts are online, but
otherwise, you can get I think the DVDs are part of the Snowboarder.
Yeah, if you're in the Snowboarder season pass, I got all mine the other day, so you should have them, or else go to your shop. Like Cal has this big stack of them.
A bunch of shops just have a bunch of copies, and I don't know if are they free or
no, they're.
I'm sorry,
I have no idea. I have no idea how much they cost, but they're worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
They can't be that much.
No.
Because we got them we got all 4 of them in the season pass thing, and the whole season pass was only $100. So the movies can't be more than $15-20. I'd imagine.
Yeah. Cool.
And you're in a shop, you're supporting the shop, you get the hard copies. It's
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. It's what you want to do.
Yeah, totally.
it's an excuse to go to your shop, which is always good.
Absolutely. Support the local shop. Cool, guys.
Cool.
Well, good talking with you.
Yeah, let's go to Troll.
Thank you.
Catch you guys later. Yeah, I've got my snow pants on now, ready to go. So, all right, let's do this.
Awesome.
Peace.
Bye.
Jesse,
Yeah.
Paul, Dan, Tyler, Tony Wagner. Check out VEER if you get the chance. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Stefan, you're back.